Hey, beautiful people. Dils Victoria here. Hope all is well. It is another episode of What's Your Brand Story podcast. And I have an amazing guest. She is a powerful woman, all in her own right. I met her at a pop up a couple weeks ago here in Savannah, and we quickly connected and so in alignment with each other. And I just wanted to bring her onto the podcast to share knowledge, wisdom, experience, her expertise in her business. And as always, have a notebook and a pen because I'm quite sure she's going to drop gems and knowledge and wisdom on all of us. And I'm just sitting at the edge of my seat until she speaks. So I want to introduce Lady Ray, aka
Okay.
Coco Lady of Coco Lady Enterprises. How are you today?
Oh, peace and blessings. Thank you for this invitation. I am so
Absolutely.
delighted to be here. I'm amazed at all the work you're doing. You are
Oh,
really a multitasker, which is really fantastic. That's positive. And all sisters should be able to have their own bag of things that they can pull out when they need to, because you never
absolutely.
know when you're going to need it.
That part right there. I always call myself a student of life. I'm always learning. I don't feel like I'm a master of anything. I feel like there's always room to learn. And when we have these God-given gifts, we always have to be, well, you don't have to, but I always feel like I need to perfect it and enhance it and improve it every day or every week or every year because there's always something to learn. And, being an Aquarius, I'm very much a trailblazer, trendsetter. I'm very inquisitive. Like, I'm always like, what's the next thing? What should I be doing? How can I use this? So, my
Doing
mindset is always
something.
like that, right?
Okay, that's positive. You have to think that way because that's the only way we're going to come together as a group,
Absolutely.
entity, in order to uplift all of our people. Okay, and to be able to be out there and sharing and caring. Kudos, as I can say, for the word for you reaching out to me. To know that, to see that there was something else going on there. And with that, I'll just sort of give you a brief overview of some of the
Sure.
things I have done. I'm originally from Boston, born and raised, and have traveled to see the world and have met a wonderful brother that I married on a trip we had to Kemet, Egypt. So
Oh,
that's what's brought me here to Savannah. Okay.
okay.
Uh, I am a nutritional consultant with focuses on many different modalities to help people feel better. We would might have Afro Chi Fitness, which helps them to understand the foods they eat from their head to their feet. They would have relaxation sessions that are part of that because you need to be relaxed in order to be successful at what you're doing. The mind body connection has to be relaxed enough to not overreact when people sort of pull your chain or make you do something that you really don't want to. But unless you're in charge of yourself, that relaxation piece is really important. And that's what I've been
Even
doing. I've done that for, I'll say decades. I won't give you how many decades, but I've done it a long time. They even called me in when 911 happened, to teach some of the business people, some of the employees to come in to relax because I was in a World Trade location in Boston. So just saying
mm,
that the importance of that relaxation is something that I'm really hoping to share with the community here, to be able to know how important it is to breathe properly, filling the
mhm.
lungs, the diaphragm, and the belly, and to exhale very slowly. And that kind of movement that goes on with yourself is very, very important. And just to bring on not just the relaxation for yourself, which is paramount, but the fact that you need to have your home and the ambiance, having it relaxed or having that relaxation location in your home. And it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be huge. It could be just a certain dresser or table that has
Mhm.
all of the different things, the candles, the aromatherapies, maybe a bell for a chime, something that you can call to the spirits and the ancestors to help you feel better, and that your children and loved ones will know she's in there meditating. She's taking time for herself. Because
Mhm.
without that, you're just a bundle of nerves. And the
Yep.
kids, the young people, your loved ones don't realize how important it is to relax. Because the example was I had young people when I was at home, and the children would bombard me when I came in the door. I had a
Mhm.
crazy day having to deal and was looking forward to being home. And they were looking forward to me being home and could hardly wait to tell me their whole day's activity in one
Mhm.
burst, just like that. Okay. And it was like, okay, you have to give mom 5 minutes to
Mhm.
unwind and take a deep breath and center and focus. As soon as I come back out that door, you can let me know what's so important that you want me to know. And that's
Right.
working with the relaxation component.
Yeah.
It's helping them to feel more in charge because they know they can put in perspective what they need to share. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's one point. Afro Chi sort of chimes you in on that piece and the yoga type stretches and the chi energy, but more than that, I've done nutritional programs for children, teaching them how to eat, how to cook, how to eat. And certainly every parent can do that with their children. But as you say, you are what you eat from your head to your feet. You have to
Mhm.
know what is a benefit, a good food. You have
Mhm.
to read the labels on the packaging. You
Yep.
have to know if there's too many ingredients on those labels that they may not be too healthy for you. So it's up to
Mhm.
you to be able to make the right selection, comparing the two different kinds of foods, maybe more, get the best price in addition to that on the food. But, and to understand the food coloring that's in so many things actually does a lot to upset your nervous system, and with
Mhm.
children, you have that food coloring, yellow, red, blue, not so much, I don't see too much green, but I'm sure it's out there. Okay, but those kind of things actually makes the nervous system very jittery. So if they
Mhm.
have that, let's say after 6 p.m. on any given day, they're not gonna sleep. So they're
Mhm.
hopping around like a jelly bean. Okay,
Yep.
so you have to make sure you understand that the coloring that's in certain foods. If you're making quick macaroni and cheese, you have to look, well, what made the yellow? That yellow actually has been known to cause seizures in children. I
That's
repeat,
crazy.
seizures in children. Okay, I mean, we all love our cheese, and you can certainly buy cheese that's not so colored. Okay, but the fact that you're adding to your nervous unsettlement, okay, as you're making what you call a healthy food, okay, so you need to be able to grab the kind of things that are really healthy and beneficial to them. So
Mhm.
that's some of the things that I do. I mean, you met me out there as a vendor doing head wraps,
Yeah.
okay, and that comes from my artistic background. That I have organized a uh, what is it? A group collaborative with artists in Boston called
Mhm.
Bohemian Arts Boston, and you can reach it on Facebook. But it's now Bohemian Arts Boston Two, the number. Okay, and I've had a lot of really professional, high skilled artists from around the world that have
Mhm.
donated their work for the exhibit every year. We have a Black History exhibit in libraries and the city halls. Okay, and in and around different places, and we've gone for 11 years. We're in our 11th year
Mhm.
doing this. Now we have
Mhm.
our work up in a bank in Cambridge, Mass. Okay, so just to say that's one of the artistic things I do. And the Bohemian, uh, the head wraps called the Homie Designer Head Wrap. That's right, the Homie Designer Head Wraps.
Like
Okay,
Woman
and
King, like the Woman King.
okay. And the reason for that is, coming up in the hood, you're kind of there. Everyone ties their head wraps a little different,
Mhm.
but bottom line, it's very, very similar. Okay. And I
Mhm.
just felt that why not call this what it is? Everyone called someone a homie. You called a homie, and if you wore the head wrap, you were a homie. And it's like, you know what? Let's embrace this as our own. Because who else knows better than we do the homie rap? There's
Mhm.
1, 2, 3 tie, and you're ready to go out the door, and nothing's gonna stop you when you have to do that. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's where that head wrap came into play. I do I've been doing that. Okay, I guess I must be about 14 years doing that.
Mhm.
Okay, and it's been very popular selling it as a vendor in and around New England. Okay, and I just enjoy that. Now I have an actual event coming up that will be in the Savannah area for the head wrap if anyone's interested. Okay, that's
Mhm.
called, what is this? The Coastal Empire Habitat for Humanity.
Oh yeah.
Coastal Empire
Yep.
Habitat for Humanity. It'll be my first time there, community
Mhm.
organization, and that's at 905 Colant Ave in Savannah, and that's
Mhm.
10 to 2 on October 12th. October 12th, and that's one that they can certainly chime into that if they'd like to see more. Okay, there is a YouTube video under the same name, Da Homie, that's without the E, HOMY designer head wraps, and you can see exactly how to wrap it 1, 2, 3. So if you want to look on that, that's great. Um,
Mhm.
do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, what sets you apart from everyone else that does what you do?
Well, number one, I haven't seen too many people doing Dahomey designer head wraps.
Got you.
Number two, I'm doing the collaborative of artists. Okay,
Mhm.
and we're doing annual art exhibits, so that's a little different. Not everybody does it, but certainly there's enough going on. In fact, I'm networked with the Beach Institute, and I've got
Mhm.
Dahomey wraps in that location that you can pop
Okay.
in there if you're looking for some designer head wraps. Um,
Mhm.
that's a little different. I do art classes in terms of flower design. I go
Mhm.
around to different residential or areas. When I was in Boston, okay, now, I haven't done anything down here. I'm anxious to, but I haven't done any class workshops, and I really miss it. But that's important. It's a little different to be able to teach people because it's therapeutic, very, very
Yep.
relaxing. You can actually calm down. You make it your own, no matter how good or bad. There is no bad. No matter how good, bad, and different, it's something you made. And even
Mhm.
when you actually have it as a complete flower design, you are still moving things around to try to make it better. So that's a
Yeah.
fun thing to do. All you
Mhm.
do is get a little bouquet and set it up in a container. And, if you have the Oasis foam that you can plug into, or if you don't have any of that, you can use aluminum foil, okay, and
Mhm.
just use a little pin, teriyaki stick kind of thing, or even a knife, and just put the holes in there and put your designs where you want it and fill it with water in order to keep it alive. So that's
Mhm.
kind of a little different thing that I do. Um, I am an artist myself. I work in clay and I
Mhm.
do face masks and have them framed. I put that
Mm.
on papyrus paper, and that's kind of a fun thing. I always enjoy because I just spent so many decades working in massage. I could
Yeah.
actually easily feel the different contours of the face. So it just
Mhm.
became like second nature to be able to make someone's face. So if you
Wow.
gave me a picture of a loved one, I pretty sure could come pretty close to what that person looked like in the real. So I kind of enjoy that. So I
Nice.
guess that's about all, but I do have an event coming up soon.
Mhm.
Okay, this Saturday actually, Women of Hope, the Women's Conference, and that's at
Mhm.
the Methodist Church,
Mhm.
uh, Union Springs Methodist Church, 151 Union Spring Church Road in Springfield, Georgia.
Mhm.
And that's the 14th, this Saturday, 11 to 2. And they actually are serving dinner if anyone's interested in that. So that should
Okay,
be a nice
cool.
thing for the community. Hmm.
Cool. So how has your business and what you do transformed your life? Like what does it do for you?
Well, spiritually, because I'm sharing so much with information to help people to relax and unwind, to be able to live a better lifestyle by eating food properly, adding
Mhm.
that exercise and passive stretch every day into their life. It means a lot to be able to share that with folks who maybe are not doing it or have had the normal routine to say, I can't do that.
Mhm.
You start where you are. If it's a matter of opening your arms as if you were embracing a large tree and bring your arms back. Okay, you open it, take a deep breath, and exhale and bringing it together. That
Mhm.
kind of thing keeps your blood circulation going, improves your heart pumping. Okay, and
Mhm.
it's so important to do that no matter what condition you're in. You're immobile, you have some medical issues. You might even feel a little pain as you're doing that little stretch, but live with it, embrace it, do the stretch, let the body flow, full breath, connecting to Mother Earth, reaching up to Father Sky. That means
Mm-hmm.
you're connected. You're the conduit by which you connect everything that you do. And it really
Yes.
helps you to feel better when you're able to do it. And once you know it, you can share it with someone who doesn't.
Agreed 100%. 100%. So, my next question to you is, what is the most memorable compliment that a client has given you that stays with you till this day?
Memorable. I think the one that I really enjoyed most was the
Mm-hmm.
fact that during COVID, I was able to do some instruction. Not a lot. We didn't do a whole lot, but enough because we could go outside to the area near where we live. And these sisters weren't in great shape, I'll say, but they were
Mm-hmm.
in healthy shape,
Mm-hmm.
And when it got to that little extra stretch, they really would work to make it happen. And the fact that they did that, and by the end of the sessions that we did, they were
Mm-hmm.
really moving it.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't complaining of, oh, I can't do that. They were really stretching and bending and breathing and connecting. And they loved the relaxation component where they just relaxed the mind, relaxed the body, and brought the whole mind internally with the chakras, working with the chakra zone, breathing into the chakra zones and grounding as they got there to their feet and lower back, and then come back up. And the whole conduit was there for them. And they really enjoyed it. I think it was refreshing to me that
Mm-hmm.
these senior ladies were actually able to do it, to come out. They weren't quite on walking sticks, canes, but they were, sort of a little tight. And they
Mm-hmm.
actually loosened up and did the balance because, every time you balance on one foot adds 10 years to your life. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you can balance, you try it for 10 seconds on one foot and then switch, you're breathing, and then 10 seconds on the other foot. Okay, you're really improving your whole structure and makes you
Mm-hmm.
prepared in the event you ever should trip or nick your foot as you're walking so you don't fall because you've got control over your balance. So I think just to see that, with this advanced group that I was doing, because I've even worked with people who have Alzheimer's, and they've been really good. I've even created new movements for those folks, and they really, picked up their arms and did it as a glide, giving thanks to themselves. So it really it empowers you to do more. Once you start reaching out to communities and having them interact and understand why they're doing it. A lot of times you do things when it comes to fitness and you don't know why you're doing it. You're just doing it. The instructor said do this, that, and the other thing, but did you know if you did this movement, it would actually help your digestion,
Mm-hmm.
or it works so that your hips are making, good connections. That kind of thing is really helpful.
Awesome. Good stuff. So what would you say would be like the most fulfilling aspect of what you do? Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
Okay. All right. What is the most, what aspect of?
Fulfilling.
Well, that was fulfilling in working with seniors and teaching them ways that they can, relax, unwind, and improve their body mechanics. That is very fulfilling.
Awesome. So, can you define what a brand story means to you?
A brand story? Is that
Mm-hmm.
what you said?
Yeah. What
Oh,
is your
goodness.
brand story? What does it? What can you have a definition of your brand story of your brand?
Um, well, it would be maybe the Dahomey wrap. As I
Okay.
say, there's never a bad day with a Dahomey wrap. That's a
Mm-hmm.
brand story for me, and people love it when I tell them that because they're saying, "Oh, yeah, you're right. You can wear a Dahomey," but there's never a bad day with the Dahomey wrap. That's the first thing. And with the Afro Chi, you are what you eat from your head to your feet, and that kind of activity helps keep you in motion. And you want to read the labels, understand what kind of foods you have, what's going on, and to stay away from the food coloring. That's really very, very important.
Mm, good stuff. So thank you so much for coming on my podcast. I appreciate it. Can you tell everyone where they can find you if anybody wants to purchase a Dahomey wrap or just work with you with their health and stuff like that?
Well, again, there's a free event coming up on September
Mm-hmm.
14th. That's this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
Women of Hope. And that's the Women's Conference at Union Springs Methodist Church,
Mm-hmm.
151 Union Springs Church Road. That's in Springfield, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the other is the Coastal Empire Habitat for Humanity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be with the Dahomies. That'll be set up with the Dahomies, and I can certainly chat about the nutrition and other things that'll be very beneficial. And if they want a brief overview of how to relax, the ambiance in their house, how to set up a little corner, they can always reach me by going to Coco Lady USA at gmail.com. That's Coco Lady USA at gmail.com. And that's Coco with an A, COCOA, Lady at
Mm-hmm.
USA at gmail.com. Yeah, that's pretty much how to reach out. Unfortunately, I do have a couple of things that are free, and you want to, chime in. And thank you so much for inviting me in.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much. So, thank you, podcast listeners, for tuning into another episode of What's Your Brand Story podcast with your host, Ills Victoria. It was a pleasure. Like I said, I knew she was going to drop some amazing gems and just give us wisdom and her expertise and everything that she does. So, be sure to connect with Sister Ray, aka Coco Lady. Uh huh.
One more little thing. I didn't
Sure.
men- I didn't mention how I do chocolate tasting events. If you
Oh, I
like
love
chocolate,
chocolate.
I
Oh
do.
my
I
gosh,
teach
yes.
people all of the content of what's in the chocolate from around the world. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the presentations I have. And the second one is understanding how your tea affects your body. So if you're on a weight loss program at all, you want to add the green tea and hibiscus tea into your diet.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yes, good stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you once again, podcast listeners. This is Dils Victoria, host of What's Your Brand Story podcast. Till next time, if you're catching the replay, have a notebook and pen near you because this was amazing information for everyone to have. And please be sure to connect with Sister Ray and go visit her at the different events that she mentioned. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hit that. Bye bye.
Hold on.